So today we are going to be doing something pretty different for the channel and something that we haven't done here in a very long time. We're actually going to be talking about Pokemon, which definitely sounds weird to those of you who have been around for a while because you know that I am not a Pokemon fan. I am not very familiar with it. I have next to no experience with the franchise. However, early this morning, there was a Pokemon Presents presentation, basically detailing all sorts of new Pokemon stuff because apparently this year is also the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, on top of Metroid and The Legend of Zelda and Donkey Kong having anniversaries this year. It's also an anniversary for Pokemon, and so this presentation happened. For Pokemon fans, there's a lot of crazy news, and there's one specific thing that I want to focus on today. Of course, before I dive any further into this Pokemon news, I do want to remind you guys that I'm always trying to grow the channel here on Rule of Two Review. I upload and post several videos every single week. I cover all things Nintendo, I cover all things Metroid, and of course, all things gaming. So as you watch this video, if you seem to like what I'm doing and what you hear, then hopefully you will consider subscribing to the channel. So like I said, there were a couple of things that were revealed and discussed today, and as a non-Pokemon fan who's not familiar with the details, I don't really have any opinions on them, and honestly, I don't even know everything that was shown. There are only two big pieces of information that came out today that I myself have come across. One of them is a remake of two of the older games that I believe came out on either the Game Boy or the Nintendo DS. And then the other one, which is the one I am focusing on today, is a game called Pokémon Legends. Now here's the thing, you guys, before I continue to get any deeper into this and actually talk about this, I want to remind you what it means when I say that I'm not a Pokemon fan and I'm not familiar with the franchise. And it's that I'm not going to be able to talk about this in the most insider way. There are going to be terms or Pokemon names or character names or location titles and, I don't know, gameplay aspects that I just don't know. The purpose of this video is for myself as a non-fan to talk about the franchise, this game reveal, and the fact that this game reveal is actually mildly exciting to me. So I hope you're not looking for like a Pokemon expert to sound like an expert, because I'm going to sound like a dummy when it comes to talking about it. But I think that's part of what's interesting, is to have somebody who maybe isn't familiar with the franchise or isn't already a fan discuss it from that outsider perspective. I would enjoy hearing someone talk about Metroid that way, because that's my favorite franchise. So if you're a Pokemon fan, hopefully you'll bear with me as you kind of hear me discuss what I think is going on here. So getting back to the game that has me kind of interested, it is this game, like I said, Pokemon Legends, and I believe it's called Arceus, or pronounced Arceus, or Arceus. Arceus? I'm not quite sure. I know you're going to laugh and yell at me, but again, I don't know these things. So, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think I'm going to go with Arceus for the sake of this video. And this game is the game that has basically finally been revealed to be the game that a lot of people, both fans and non-fans, have been asking for. Some kind of large open world RPG. Everyone is talking about the Zelda Breath of the Wild comparison, and I gotta tell ya, I agree with that comparison, having finally sat down and watched the trailer once it was revealed and everyone was talking about it. I was like, I have to look at this thing and see what's going on. People are excited, people are saying Breath of the Wild. And yeah, honestly, like, I don't know, some people might think it's a bad thing, and that's fine. For myself, as a non-Pokemon fan, but a huge Zelda fan, I see a resemblance to Breath of the Wild, and personally, it's one of my favorite things about it. And I'll tell you one of the other things about this trailer that got me excited. It's not just that it looks like another game I already enjoy. It's the way they directed that trailer and the way they presented the gameplay and the exploration. It wasn't something that was a very fast-moving, fast-paced, quickly edited trailer. And it didn't have a lot of like music and things and just bombastic stuff flying at you. It was definitely quick cuts of gameplay, but it was done so in such a way that it kind of highlighted the slower and more explorative nature of the game. You know, there was a lot of quiet moments. It felt kind of like you were alone in a wilderness with a Pokeball, right? Doing Pokeball things. And you could just hear the ambience of the world around you. It wasn't this constant rumbling of some kind of upbeat music in the background. It really lets you feel like you're maybe just lost in some sort of wilderness of this Pokemon area, and you happen to be finding Pokemon and fighting them and doing that whole thing. And so the presentation of it from that perspective, just this trailer itself, really helped me because it kind of it kind of sold me on the idea. And it actually made it feel like Breath of the Wild more than just looking like Breath of the Wild, because those are two different things. A game can look like another game, but will it feel like another game? And I think that this trailer was put together in such a clever way that it felt like a Breath of the Wild experience. And again, I like that. Now, of course, like I've already said, since I don't know anything about Pokemon really, and I don't understand much of the gameplay, I mean, I spent 5 to 10 hours with Pokemon Shield in 2019. I bought that as my first and only ever Pokemon game. I did not enjoy it. I got very bored. So after, I don't know, maybe like a couple of days, I actually just returned the game. So I really didn't experience much more than the first couple of hours because I was just immediately turned off. It's nothing against it. It's not that it's bad. I don't even hate Pokemon. It's just that it doesn't work for me. I'm one of the people that it doesn't click with. Not an insult, just what it is. And so, as somebody who doesn't really understand the details, I've been trying to gauge how people who are familiar with Pokemon feel about it, put some feelers out on Twitter, talking with one of my best buddies who's actually a big Pokemon fan, and trying to understand what's going on here. Now, my good friend who's a Pokemon fan told me that he's not super jazzed about this game. He said he does plan on buying it. He's gonna try it. But he said it didn't really get him as excited as the remake games that they announced today. And I asked him why, because I told him, hey, I'm not a Pokemon fan, but I actually think this one looks a little bit interesting to me. So what do you see? What's the problem? And he said that he sees the gameplay as something that's more akin to the Let's Go Pokemon games. And of course, I don't really know what the difference with the Let's Go games were. I just know that people said that they were like Pokemon Light, and so they weren't really very good, but also people bought them like crazy. So that's kind of its whole thing. And he basically just said, so I'm paraphrasing now, but he said it's like you find a Pokemon and you're going to throw a Pokeball and pray, is what he said. And so I was like, okay, I guess that means there's some sort of behind-the-scenes calculation happening based on maybe your experience or how leveled up you are that improves your chance of catching a Pokemon by throwing a Pokeball at it. So I don't know if that's good or bad. That's just what he said it is. But I also feel like, there's a clip in this trailer that shows what looks like to me some turn-based combat, which I know Pokemon games are supposed to be turn-based. Like, you fight Pokemon in a turn-based RPG sort of setting. I mean, heck, I actually did that in Pokemon Shield for the couple of hours that I played that. I mean, I did do some battles, and it was very much a turn-based thing. I personally chose to turn the animations off because they just drove me crazy. They took up extra time. And from the jump, I just wasn't really enjoying it. And so I kind of wanted to speed it up as much as possible. And I know that might sound like heresy to a lot of you guys, but I can only remind you that I'm already not a fan. I went out of my way to try it and to spend my money to give it a shot, and it didn't work for me, and so that's what I did. But this trailer showed some turn-based combat, I think. So I feel like there's like a mix of, I guess, this Let's Go stuff he was talking about, and then also maybe something that's a little bit more like the classic games with the turn-based stuff. You guys who are experts can tell me if that's right or wrong, but that's what I've seen. Now, the other thing I'm not familiar with from this trailer is, of course, this Arceus character. I didn't really know what that was when it popped up, but when it popped up, it did it in such a way that I felt like it was a pretty big deal. It seemed like it was the final stinger to the trailer, something to make, fans go, oh my god, it's that, that thing is here. And I was like, oh, that seems like it's important. And so, I asked people on Twitter, what is this character? And I had a couple of very awesome and friendly folks respond and explain to me that if this is wrong, don't yell at me, because I'm just relaying information that I got. But I was told that this character is like the god of Pokemon, or all the Pokemon that exist, like maybe the creator of all the Pokemon. And I guess it appeared in a movie once, and it was maybe going to be in a game, but then it never actually made it into a video game. So I guess this is maybe its first appearance in a video game. Man, I hope this is right, because I don't want this video to be a waste to Pokemon fans. I want this to be kind of substantial for you guys to listen to as a non-fan. But, that's what I was told. It's the god of Pokemon, which I kind of thought was Mewtwo. I always thought Mewtwo was like the ultimate Pokemon. And I think there's a couple of forms of Mewtwo that I've seen out there throughout the years. But, I mean, my knowledge is so tangential. Most of it just comes from Super Smash Brothers, if I'm being honest. So either way, Arceus is like the ultimate this is the god of Pokemon. And this character being in the game is also, I guess, a really big deal. I don't personally know or understand how it fits into the story. I haven't seen or read or heard anyone explain that part yet, but maybe a lot of you guys are familiar with that. So it seems like it could be pretty cool. It seems like a very big deal for the franchise. If you go to the official website for the game, there's a couple of interesting blurbs you can read that sort of lets us know what's going on. This first section says, "It's a bold new direction. The Pokémon Legends Arceus game honors past Pokémon core gameplay while infusing new action and RPG elements. You'll need to catch, survey, and research wild Pokémon in a long-gone era of the Sinnoh region to create and complete the region's first Pokédex." So, does that make this like a prequel? I mean, I don't know, because, I mean, I guess I don't know what the Sinnoh region is. I've heard that before. I don't know if that's a new or a different area. I know I've heard that before. So when they say you're completing the region's first Pokédex, I don't know if I'm interpreting this right. I wonder if it's a prequel. Maybe not. I don't recognize these characters, this boy and this girl character. I've never seen them before. So I feel like they would maybe almost be new, right, to the franchise. But again, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong there. And you know, I like what it says here. It honors past Pokemon games' core gameplay while infusing new action and RPG elements. Maybe that's what my friend was talking about when he said it's got like the Let's Go gameplay, but then also I noticed turn-based gameplay in the trailer. Like it's almost doing both, I guess. So I found that to be interesting. Catch Pokemon. To catch Pokemon in the Pokémon Legends Arceus game, you can observe them to learn their behavior, then carefully sneak up, aim your Pokeball, and let fly. You can also have your ally Pokemon battle wild Pokemon that you hope to catch. Just throw the Pokeball holding your ally Pokemon near a wild Pokemon, and you'll seamlessly enter battle and command your Pokemon by choosing from moves it knows. Whew! Man, that was kind of a rough sentence to read out loud. Lots of Pokemon, ally Pokemon, wild Pokemon, battle Pokemon, all these things. So I guess it's really, I don't know, more doubling down on the idea of this gameplay. And, at this point, unfortunately, there's not too much more I can say other than what I've already said about the gameplay and the battling. I guess that's describing just what I kind of already thought the gameplay was. So, not being familiar with the Let's Go stuff and having literally 5 hours worth of history with the gameplay from Pokemon Shield not even 2 years ago, all I can say is it looks and sounds and seems to feel like the little bit that I know about the gameplay. I would think that's maybe exciting to a lot of people, and I know to me it's like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll give it a shot because I kind of like the setting of the game. The setting really and truly is kind of the big hook to me. The fact that it seems open world, and I'm not even a sucker for open world games. I just think that maybe the Pokemon concept has needed something like this just to hook me as somebody who's already not a fan and not familiar, okay? And so through that, when I see this game and it feels like a Breath of the Wild, it feels open world, I like the slower, quiet moments. I like the ability to just wander like a wilderness and you stumble across critters and you can try to catch them or fight them or whatever you do there. Like, you know, I don't know that this is going to be the Pokemon game that I really turn out to love, but it definitely has a feel of the first game I seem to care about. And it's the first time a game has looked and sounded and felt from the trailer like a game that might appeal to me more than the previous games. Something I've said in a lot of my previous conversations about Pokemon is that what Pokemon has always been is something that I've learned doesn't work for me, okay? However, what I've never asked for is for them to change it into something unrecognizable for you guys who are fans, just to appeal to me, somebody who's on the outside. Of course, if they were going to do that, I was going to be open to it, but I was never asking for them to do that. I don't need Pokemon to become a franchise that I personally care about. Like, I'm okay not playing these games in this franchise. However, it does finally seem like they've understood this is something they need to do, and so simply by this game existing, it's got me more interested. Some conversation about the graphics. I mean, I guess we just have to acknowledge and admit that the Pokemon games are probably never going to push visuals on any hardware that they release on. That's either going to be okay with you or it's going to be a problem for you. For myself, I kind of like... I don't care, really, because I don't need amazing graphics to enjoy a game. But I also think it's unfortunate that a game this popular and successful that makes so much money can't do something a little bit more. I mean, this game should be able to look even better than Breath of the Wild did, and it sure doesn't. Does it look fine? Yes, it looks fine. I'm not even so much complaining about it, but I'm acknowledging the fact that, you know, it looks better than some of the other Pokemon games I've seen, but it still looks like it's just kind of holding itself back, which is really par for the course from what we've seen from Pokemon games. And so at the end of the day, while this is how I feel doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It matters to me, and it matters enough for me to talk about it and just share it with you guys because I think it's fun and interesting. But what actually matters the most is how you guys feel, because I know 99.9% of you guys are going to be Pokemon fans. I'm one of the very few people on the planet who does not enjoy or care about Pokemon. But I am at least happy to say that there's finally a game that appeals to me a little bit, you know? When I picked up Pokemon Shield back in whatever 2019 when that game came out, I'll tell you guys, I picked it up in spite of itself, okay? I picked it up not really wanting to play it or finding anything interesting. Like, I knew it was just another regular Pokemon game that I just didn't care about. But I wanted to give it a shot just to see if I could learn that I was going to like it, and also just to say, you know, at that time I would have been 39 years old, almost 40. You know, here I am at 39, and I'm finally going to at least give the game a shot so I can talk about the franchise with a little bit of knowledge. And so that's what I did. With this game, with Pokemon Legends, it still hasn't totally hooked me, but it has me wide open to see what they're going to do next, and it has me very open to the possibilities of what it could be. And so as more is revealed about it over the next year, if it continues to look good or better and better, then it's a game that I might actually be actively excited to pick up, as opposed to picking it up even though I already know I won't care. I might actually really care and really enjoy this game, so the jury's still out. The reveal is only like an hour old at this point, so it just has to be what it is. But either way, this is what I saw. This is a non-fan discussing this Pokemon information and this brand new game, and maybe this becomes the one that converts me into a little tiny bit of a Pokemon fan. So what do you think? What do you think about this non-fan's perspective? Are you excited for this game? What did you think about the Pokemon stuff from today? Talk about all that stuff. And with that, this video is a wrap. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I will catch you next time on another video.